Hey guys, Mitch here from Cinema Suite, and this is 5 fun facts about Goldeneye 007. Fact number 1. It was developed by a very small and inexperienced team. 8 of its 10 developers had never previously worked on video games. Sometimes they would work 120 hours in a week to get this game done. That's dedication. Fact number 2. The entire team expected the game to fail around launch, for a few reasons other than the fact that most of them had never made a game. Console first-person shooters were actually unheard of at the time, so making one was a pretty risky move. Furthermore, it was a movie tie-in game, and those don't usually do too well. Embarrassingly, it even came out 2 years after the film itself, so it's easy to see how everyone thought this game was destined for failure. And yet, Goldeneye went on to become the 3rd best-selling game on the Nintendo 64. Second only to Nintendo's own Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario 64. And speaking of Super Mario 64, the idea of Goldeneye having multiple missions to complete within one level was actually inspired by the multiple objectives in Super Mario 64. Fact number 3. The game's multiplayer mode was added very late in development as an afterthought. Almost all of it was done by one guy who quote-unquote sat in a room with all the code written for a single-player game and turned Goldeneye into a multiplayer game. The management didn't even know he was doing it. The whole thing was done in about a month. Fact number 4. One thing that did not make it into the finished game was a unique weapon reloading system which consisted of unplugging and reinserting the rumble pack into the N64 controller, like the magazine of a gun. That would have been a good way to ruin controllers. Fact number 5. It was originally going to be an on-rail shooter, kind of like Sega's Virtua Cop or Time Crisis, except it wouldn't have had a light gun. They also considered having a first-person shooter mode and a rail shooter mode before deciding to go full-on FPS. It was hard to decide because at the time, they had no idea what the N64's controller or even system specs were going to be like exactly. That's it for this week, guys. If you liked this video, be sure to check out our other 5 fun facts videos and subscribe. Thanks for watching.